we don't want to get stuck in litigation.
If something is non-controversial.
Okay, everyone, you're being recorded. I always like that disclaimer. All right, so look, guys, what we wanted to do today is we wanted to show you guys the new front end portion of the DLP. Now, the DLP, as everyone knows, is comprised of three major components. One is the front end. The second is the LO portal, or the loan originator portal, and the third is the borrower portal. What you're going to see today is the front end. So just the piece that basically gets the data into LoansPQ, and we're also going to go through the maintenance pages of how quickly we can actually set this up. I'm going to take you guys through the product overview. We're going to look a little bit at the implementation milestones from the proposal, so we kind of get an understanding of what the expectations are that we're setting out there and how to set those expectations. And then I'll take you guys through the actual product walkthrough itself. Okay?
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Okay. What is the deployment plan? Is it is the very first deployment both of the portals plus the front end, or are we going to go with just the front end without the portals?
No, that's a great question. So we want to get this out into the AE's hands and basically push the DLP with just the front end to begin. And then what we're hoping to do, the plan is that as we start turning these clients on, we're going to basically bounce the portal ideas off of them and turn those portals on for them and have them kind of play around with it and give us more feedback. So we'll be able to get this product out, start getting revenue off of this product, and at the same time we'll be using these same clients from a beta standpoint for the LO portal and the borrower portal.
When do you think we would? What's the estimated release for that would include the two portals?
Probably about 5.2, maybe 5.3. So we're quite a ways from there. But in the meantime, what we're focusing on is making sure that the front end is pretty much ready to go, locked and loaded.
So how are we handling that?
What 5.3 means? Is that December?
October.
1st, December
October.
1st?
October, November. Yeah, 5.3 would probably be more closer to November. 5.2 would be October.
Okay.
So how do we handle that from a pricing perspective? You're not going to just give those borrower and lender portals away for free.
I think that's kind of what I'm getting at, Tim. I think this is, this kind of speaks to that other thread. And if we're going to do that, my thinking is that we get these quick sales with just this front end. We don't charge a SaaS fee for these guys that just take the front end only. I don't think throwing it out, and then we just charge the $40 and we charge the setup fee, and then as soon as we release the portals, that triggers the SaaS model.
I actually think we need to talk through that. And I don't think this is the meeting to do that, because if anything, I think the opposite. I'd actually put a SaaS fee on the DLP and then either include the portals or charge an additional for the portals. The portals are just going to add more value, but there is already a ton of value in here alone that we can get some more.
So we can do layer on an additional SaaS fee.
Yeah, for a higher SaaS fee. Yeah.
Well, guys, we got to get this baked here. My team's going to start selling it on Monday, and I've got to have something we got to have pricing to present.
Yep.
You got Ted already. We have an email thread on that, Tim.
Yeah, I saw it.
Look at what a customer is getting if they're getting the DLP and the first close one back.
This is not this meeting.
Yeah, let's do training.
We gotta come back to that.
Training.
This is for training.
Why don't we show you what we have first, and then you can guys figure out how you want to price it.
We'll see what it's worth after this demo.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, let's go through the training, and then we can kill the recording and then have any other discussions.
All right.
So quick overview of the product. This is, again, the first closed one digital lending platform is the first customizable home equity lead gen tool and application management system fully integrated into MeridianLink's LoansPQ. This is specific to home equity lending. Lenders are able to drive prospective borrowers to the application portal where the borrower is able to obtain instant information regarding the equity in their home. So that's that first key milestone in their journey. In addition to providing the equity results, we can get them to complete a full home equity application and obtain a credit decision, all in a matter of minutes, with a strong user experience behind it. The features of this DLP, what make this very, very cool. The first feature, first and foremost, is, hey, I can tell that member or that customer exactly how much equity that they have in their home. So that's the first feature. You know, when you guys are going through your demos, you're going to want to highlight that and talk about what it is that we're doing to get that information. And again, as I'm going through that demo, I'll be able to share that information with you guys as to kind of how to describe all the different moving pieces and all the technology that's happening behind the scenes in order to get them that. Another big feature of this is that you can complete the full application in minutes. Okay, a lot of the lenders that actually do have, let's call it an online application, most of them, if you see them, they actually tell you to commit 15 to 30 minutes already before you even get started. All right, and that's a big deal. Like, asking me for 15 minutes is like asking me for, like, I don't know, a kidney. It's a lot of time. And if we can show these, we can show our clients that, like, hey, we can get this done in just a matter of minutes, that's a big deal. That is a big deal. You're not asking for that huge commitment up front. The other thing, we can receive a credit decision instantly from LoansPQ, and we can get approved amount, rate, monthly payment, and stipulations. Again, that's a big deal. We can give that customer instant gratification, saying, hey, great, guess what? You've got approved, and we can get them started on what they already need to submit to keep that loan going. Now, I want you guys to remember that, because that is going to be one of the jump-off points for the portals that I'll get into in a little bit at the end of this presentation. But the fact that we're getting those stipulations, those loan conditions, essentially, from LoansPQ is a big deal, because we're letting that member know, that borrower know, hey, go start working on these things, and these things are going to help get your loan move through faster. Okay. Another big feature of this, and again, this is something that's new compared to Equity IQ. Equity IQ required us to basically do custom installs every single time. So that means that every time that we had someone sign up, we had to dedicate engineering resources. We had a small little team that we would basically give requirements to, things like color, things like logo, things like disclosures, things like rates, to that team, and then they would start coding it. We would look at what they did. We would go back and fix it. They'd come back and look at what they did. And we just knew that was not scalable. So one of the biggest features that we added on into this product offering was that we built maintenance pages so that we can easily spin these sites up and quickly get them started in days and not weeks. You know, our normal cycles ran 3 weeks. So imagine, you know, if you don't get it right in that first 3 weeks, you got to wait another 3 weeks. So we knew that since you guys were going to go out there like gangbusters and get us a bunch of clients, we knew that we needed to be able to flip these on very, very quickly. And I think that's going to be a big part of your value proposition. And once you're going through these demos, is showing them that, like, hey, this is not just some hypothetical thing that's going to take me cycles to create. This is actually going to be something I can spin up in days. And you can actually show them on that demo. The fully branded and styled, again, we allow them so many different customizations, from colors to menus to icon colors. So I'll be able to show you guys all of that. You'll be able to see exactly how much customization that they actually have and how much control that they actually have. Now, that's very important, because our competition, remember, who are we competing against regarding this? We're competing against LoansPQ solution, which there's not much competition there. I would suggest that you guys go to Uncle Credit Union and go try to fill an app out after you've seen this, and you guys can see how different our solution is than their solution. So other than LoansPQ, the other competitions are the Blends and Arustifys. And what I know from those guys is that they don't allow that quick and easy modification and that quick and easy branded and style. You know, they have a lot of things that they can't modify, whereas we do. And so, like, you know, if people bring up these questions, say, hey, what makes you different than these guys? You got to have those responses in your back pocket, locked and loaded. So these two are going to be a big deal for when it comes to the competitors. And these 3 are a big deal for when it comes to comparing them against the current Loans PQ solution. And what are the benefits? So what does the client get out of this? What does the consumers get out of this? It improves the overall customer and member experience. Okay, if I can get an application in pretty quickly, right, and already get an understanding of what I need to start doing things, it starts off a really, really good experience. It's not just like I call someone and they take my information and I don't hear from someone in weeks, or even that phone call takes 20 minutes. So we're already establishing a strong experience from the front. The reduced bailout part during the application process, this is really, really a big deal. Everyone that's doing any sort of digital lending knows that this is a big thing. So let's go back to those full 15 to 20 minute applications. This basically means that with our application, because it's quick, because it's fast, because it's very immersive, and it's really, really cool, people aren't going to leave. That's what we're saying with this. Whereas if you're in that 15 to 20 minute and you get to that one page, you've all seen it, you get to that one page, it's asking you 30 fields, you're like, oh crap, maybe did someone call me? Or, you know, maybe you'll step away and maybe you won't go back to it, you'll bail out. So what we're doing is we're saying that, hey, with our solution, you're not going to bail out. The other thing is increasing digital applications. This is a big, big deal. Anyone that's doing any sort of lending as a result of COVID knows that this is a big deal. I don't have to tell you guys. We told you guys in several different webinars and you know, different scenarios and circumstances that digital applications is on the top of everyone's mind based on, you know, the impact from COVID. Everything is changing. Lenders need a way to be able to capture applications digitally, quickly, and that's probably going to be the main source of applications as opposed to branches that were probably about a year ago. And that's going to quickly change. So this solution is coming to the market at the right time, being that it's already hooked up to our Loans PQ, and it's an extension of our Loans PQ integration. Again, we're fishing with dynamite. Okay, you know, combined, the whole system is super powerful. And again, this is without the portals themselves. The other cool thing is that even if people do bail out, we're getting information, we're getting LTV, we're getting FICO, we're getting available equity. So some financial institutions right now don't have the availability, or actually don't have the ability to determine, like, if Amanda Green went out there and started an application. Okay, if Amanda Green didn't complete that application, she's gone from their visibility. Now, if let's say Amanda Green comes into our solution and she gets to that 4th or 5th page, at least I know that Amanda's got an okay FICO, got a low LTV, and has got a ton of available equity. I can call her as opposed to somebody else that may have a really bad FICO and a high LTV and not a lot of available equity. So the fact that we're giving them these pieces and allowing them to basically follow up on it with all that information makes them a lot more powerful. They can capture more applications from this. Again, these are the main discussion points as you guys go through this. These are going to be the items that you have to keep hammering on. These features and these benefits. Features tell, benefits sell. If they can understand that this is what you're doing for them with this technology, it's going to be a big deal. Any questions on the product overview, features, and benefits? No? All right, let's keep moving. I wanted to go over just the timeline portion of the proposal, because this actually changed as well too. I know you guys get a lot of implementation questions. So let's see here.
I have some questions.
Yeah.
I think this was on the call the other day, but Mikey's going to take over doing all implementations for this.
Mikey, James is in the game until probably one more call with Alta Vista. I'm not sure if we've set up the intro call for Sharon View. So James is going to handle that. He's going to hand off things to Mikey, and Mikey's going to step in, handling the project management, the requirements gathering, and some of the setup going forward.
And then should I sign somebody like tomorrow or Monday?
You sign everyone. You sign as soon as you're done here. You start signing. Don't worry about the rest. We'll take care of it.
you could start somebody getting set up.
We got Alta Vista's site already spun up. We got their site talking to beta, and we did that in a couple of days.
Because I think
So-
I'll have one next week.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
You let us worry about the implementation backlog. You guys focus on selling the stuff.
Okay.
So, so what happens after you guys demo and get a closed one? We'll send out a welcome package. We'll have a discovery call, and keep in mind that gathering the initial requirements, that's going to be something on them. So if they're telling you, hey, how quickly can you get me up? Well, say we have a list of requirements. How quickly can you get us that list? The faster that they get us this information, the faster we can spin up the site and produce a statement of work. So the statement of work is nothing more than us confirming their requirements and basically not allowing them to come back and let's say change something that we can't change through the maintenance screens. So that's what the statement of work is there for. Once we got confirmation on that, 2 days, we can get them up and running in 2 days. We actually got Alta Vista up and running in, I think, one hour. And that's from having all their requirements. We spun up their site. We got everything up and running in 1 hour. And I'm telling you, once we get really, really good at this, this number could probably drop down even further. And then the rest is pretty much business as usual. We spin up their site. We train them. So Alta Vista is actually up at this point. They're heading into this next, and soon they'll be here. But keep in mind that, you know, the training, the user acceptance testing, you know, we're on their schedule. But we want to get them. We want to basically get them to, hey, requirements are in your court. Hey, training is in your court. User acceptance training testing is in your court. So that's how quickly we want to move these things in and out. We want to get them into production as quickly as possible and have them start running apps. Questions? Great. All right, let's jump into the maintenance pages, and I'm going to bounce around between the maintenance pages and the actual demo itself. So just try to keep up, okay? I'm also going to tell you guys what we're working on. So what's not here today versus what will be here in, let's say, 3 weeks. So that'll be 5.1. Because that's also going to, you guys need to understand what we're working on, what you guys don't see, but what's coming in case if it does come up during your demos.
Well, can we keep it though to what we have for Loans PQ for the video portion?
Sure, but I want to give you guys some insight as to into what's missing out of this. There's also some bugs in here.
Thank you.
You know, there's also some bugs in here that I want you guys to be aware of. I don't want you guys to be on the demo and not know of a bug and be like, oh crap, that's not supposed to do with that. So let's start. A lot of you guys have seen this from our sprint demo a few weeks ago.
Demo purposes, is there a specific, are we trying to use this address still? You want to see the 6108?
6108, I think whoever owned this house paid off their mortgage, so it doesn't even have like an existing mortgage. But I mean, I would find an address that has good equity and has an existing mortgage. That way you can talk through those pieces.
Okay.
Okay, couple things here. Learn how do we protect your data. I would highlight this. So this comes prepackaged with equity with DLP front end. This also comes prepackaged. So these will actually be changing over the next couple of weeks. But you know, people ask and say, hey, you know, what can I modify? You can modify this. This will be the social media links from the financial institution, so they can put in a footnote disclosure here. They can enable their social media links here, and we're providing for them to be able to put a link for their financial institution there as well.
It wasn't working this morning, just FYI, George.
What? DLP.firstclose.com?
Yeah. But keep going. I want to see what yours says versus what mine did.
Okay, so the screen that you get to after you put an address, we're just asking the user to confirm their address. So we're giving them a street view from Google, and we're giving them a quick overview. This I know we cleaned up since the last time you saw it, so just make note of the different layout. So please confirm the property address that you would like to calculate the equity on. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click check my equity. All right, so if you notice, this one doesn't have a mortgage paid off, but that's why I said this guy must have just paid off his mortgage. But find one that has a remaining mortgage balance, and you'll be able to kind of you'll be able to go through this a little bit better. Okay, so here in your demo, there's a lot going on. Okay, this should be like let's stop here and find out what happened. Your estimated market value, again, that's an AVM. We actually specified that in the information icon that the market value is based on an AVM. So this is a value. Lenders are going to ask you, hey, can I plug in my own AVM? You say yes. As long as it's one of the models that we currently have built in our system, we can use the AVM that they use, and then we can actually push this AVM into the back end in case if they want to access that there. Okay?
Can I ask a question there?
Yeah.
What they always are asking me is, will they get a copy of this AVM report? And then is that 15 included in the 40, or is it an additional 15? Is what they're always asking me.
Great question. If they want to use our market value, it's included. If not, they have to pay for it.
Got it. And then, but we will give them that AVM PDF.
We will give them that AVM PDF to be able to access through the back end, and we will ultimately push that into their letters and docs in LoanSpeak.
And then if they want to use ours, that's the FAMs?
If they want to use ours, that's the FAMs, but we recommend them using theirs so that there's no discrepancy. Because FAMs may come in at 770, but if they were in collateral analytics, that may come in at 700.
Got it.
So you know, I would let them consider that.
Theirs would be the extra 15. Okay.
Correct.
Thanks.
Okay, remaining mortgage balance. So this is an estimate of what we currently owe on your property. You know, someone says, how do you go out and do that? Tell them that we look at public records and the rest is secret. I'm kidding. You can give them a little bit more information than that. But basically, we look at public data. We determine, you know, when those mortgages were out there, and you know, and we have an algorithm that tells us how much they owe. But if you notice, we leave this field open for them to edit it. Okay. From there, we have estimated home equity, and then we have estimated amount to borrow. Now, amount to borrow, this can be controlled by the backend system. I'll show you guys how that gets done. This one we have at 80%. Okay. Get your equity report. This is not available right now, but if someone says, hey, what is that? So this will allow the consumer to basically have us email them a copy of the report. And what's really cool here is, if you notice, I haven't asked for email yet. So if they're a member, they know who Lucas Test Case is. But if they're not a member, right here, here's where we're gonna capture email address. And they may ask you, hey, why are you asking for email address here and not up front? You know, and tell them the response there is, well, I want to be able to give them something in order to give me something. So we're basically saying that I just don't want to ask for email address and have them bounce out because we're asking for email address. Some people are very, you know, private about that. But if I can get them an equity report, I can capture the email address here. Now pushing that back to LoanSpeak. Everyone understand that. That's very important. Okay. I don't want to have to start being like that 5th grade teacher and ask you guys, like, be singling you guys out. Like, what does get equity report mean?
It's not there yet, and later.
Well, it will email a report, but it's not the report on those properties. It's just a static canned report today. But 5.1, that'll be a live report.
Okay, let's keep going. Loan details. All right, so there's a lot going on here. Right now, there's no rate disclosure. We're working on one. Again, that'll be in 5.1. This monthly payment is based on interest only, based on the actual amount when you're in a HELOC. If you go on a fixed rate, we have predetermined rates, pre-bucketed rates. and this payment is principal and interest based on the term and the loan amount. So if you notice, my payment is changing depending on my loan amount. Okay. How much would you like to borrow? This is getting fixed. I'd stay away from this right now. I'll let you guys know when this is fixed. This disclosure on estimated monthly payment, that's also getting fixed. I'll let you guys know when that is fixed. Okay, so there's a couple bugs I want you guys to be aware of. I don't want you guys to click into estimated monthly payment disclosure and see an LTV disclosure and be like, oh crap, I shouldn't have clicked there. Okay.
So bugs to be fixed before next week?
We're trying to get it onto this sprint, Tim. The earliest it would be fixed would be next Thursday.
Okay, because we're going to start demoing on Monday.
Friday,
Yeah.
actually, I have one Friday.
That's fine. Just stay away. Just stay away from
Just
these
don't
two.
click that.
Yeah, stay away from these two. Here, you can actually click here. You can just basically say these are placeholders for features and benefits, product disclosures, and rate disclosures. So I'll show you guys how you can actually control that from the admin screens. But again, the idea here is that if the consumer wants to find out about a HELOC, here's where they can do that. If they want to find out about a HEL, here's where they can do that, and I can show you guys where to control that information. Okay. This guy will show you basically what the user has completed. I wouldn't worry too much about this. This downloads the report as well. Again, I wouldn't worry too much about that. I would stick to the content that's on the screen. So let me, so from here I can use a slider, or I can use my middle guy, and then that'll get me to an amount. All right, so I want a $100,000 HELOC. I'll show you guys where we're controlling this rate.
Okay, hold on, I have a question. For the ones that aren't in Loans PQ, how are you going to get their rates and stuff updated?
For the ones that are, say that one more time.
If they're not attached to Loans PQ, how are you grabbing their rates and keeping that updated?
If they're not attached to Loans PQ?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So like somebody that's in a different LOS, if they're not Loans PQ, how are we going to, and they ask me, how do you get my rate?
I wasn't aware that we were showing this to people other than Loans PQ.
Are you on? I just...
Wait.
So, but the rates have to be entered into the maintenance pages, correct?
We only allow for one rate, Sarah. We're discussing the possibility of adding a small mini rate table.
Okay.
But we're only adding one rate.
Okay. Yes, our main focus right now is Loans PQ. However, we're not going to turn away talking it and hyping it up to someone who's not, but our focus is Loans PQ.
Well, we don't have a way to get that data out if it's not PQ.
Exactly.
So,
it's not something that's in working order right now.
Yeah, and we're not. That's probably not on. That is.
It's an end of October, November.
Yes, you got it.
Yes, we're there. Everyone's aware.
So that like November or that October sprint will have that.
No, we're not sure. It's not. That's not on our. Those requirements aren't defined, and that's not on our timeline right now. So just know that. Let's keep moving.
Yeah, don't sell it to non-Loans PQ people right now, because it'll just sit in implementation forever.
Yeah, and Patrick doesn't like that, because then their folks have to keep an eye on it, and we don't like that because then we get pressured. So, yeah. So I don't know, but you guys sell it however you want to sell it. I'm just making sure that you guys are trained on it. It would be nice if we were all aligned, though. Okay, FICO score ranges. This is a typical FICO score range that you see out there. So 300 to 619, 620, okay, 640 to 679, 680 to 719. We got this cool little graphic. We're in the process of changing this. But again, this is just to have the borrower self-identify what their credit score is. We can go ahead and add a co-applicant from here. So if they want to add a co-applicant, I can get their name and I can get their range, and we can go from there as well too. So let's just assume that Lucas has a really, really good credit, and let's head over to the property information. All these guys are fully customizable. So all these fields I can take out or add. So if someone doesn't do any non-owner occupied or investment, we can take those out and it'll just default to owner occupied. So we'll keep going here. All right, I'm employed. Lucas has a really, really healthy monthly income. Okay. FC is taking care of him. All right, we'll go next. All right, now this is my last page before I actually complete. This journey is changing a little bit after 5.1. We're adding HMDA information. So if someone says, hey, where's HMDA? Where's my HMDA questions? Just say, hey, we're in the process of adding that. Right now, you can either do one of two things. You can go with it as is, or you can get it in Loans PQ and then just update your Loans PQ data. Okay? And just so you guys know, we're going to add HMDA after this, and then we're going to add a basic, like an overall review page. If you guys ever been on those apps where once you complete it, it kind of gives you all the data that you submitted, and you're able to kind of make edits and changes on one page. You guys have seen those? Yeah, shake your head, yes. So yes, so that we're building also as well too. So we're going to give the user the ability to change anything if they need to at that moment. So let me go ahead and put in my social.
You want us to use that 0001?
So the 0001, that's Marisol test case. 0020 is Lucas. Marisol always generates, as long as your income is okay, Marisol should always generate an approval.
So use 12.5 for income.
12.5 I think is good enough.
Okay.
I think your LTV's got to be under 80, which it should be based on the parameters that we've set up. And I would use 001. Yeah.
Do a $50,000 loan.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the name really doesn't matter. It could be Lucas with 001, or it could be Marisol. If you guys just want to keep it simple, stick to Marisol every time. Marisol test case every time with 01.
Okay.
And the date of birth has to. Okay. All right, this is a disclosure that we're actually allowing them to. Another thing that's happening right now, if someone says, hey, where do I put in my PDF disclosures? Right, someone's going to ask that. That page that I described after HMDA, where you have that completion and you have the summary of the application, we're going to put disclosures there. That doesn't exist right now, but it's coming. Okay.
They can give us their customized terms.
They can give us their
Disclosure.
PDFs and we will house them. Okay, we will show them. As far as, e-signing them, I wouldn't get into that. Just say, hey, you guys will give us your PDFs and we'll be able to present them to the member, to the consumer. That's how that should go. Deal?
Yep.
Joe? Sarah?
They said yes.
Okay. I used the 0001 yesterday, and it did not render an instant approval.
Your loan amount has to be less than 80% and your income has to be high enough. So those
Well,
It was
fields
because I
have
used
to-
that address and there was no mortgage on it, and I
But
put the
Sarah,
Give it
we,
any amount. Yeah, I don't know.
Sarah had it just works with my special touch. I'm kidding.
I couldn't even get this far this morning. I couldn't get past.
No.
equity.
It wasn't there this morning, guys. We
Okay.
we had our engineering teams figure this out.
Which is fine. You hadn't given it to us yet.
Yeah,
I
we had to
mean,
give it
were
to you
just
guys. Yeah, we were still.
Yeah.
You got to remember, we just got this in production on Friday,
Yeah.
and we basically had 2 days to kind of square this all away and get you guys this. So, anyways, here's the congratulations page. 100,000 is my approved amount. Here's my app number, my rate, my monthly payment, my initial credit decision date, my initial steps. So 2 most recent pay stubs, a test step, and then a brief disclosure that they'll be able to have access to. And then we have print disclosures here, but again, that's going to change. So so that's DLP. This is DLP. That's the whole experience. If I were to actually fly through this, I'll show you guys. I mean, it's pretty easy. Alta Vista saw this demo on Friday, and they said, and I quote, "This exceeded my expectations." But they were really super surprised as to, one, how good it looked, and two, once we showed them the maintenance pages, they were like, wow, you're telling me I can make changes just like that? And that's what I'm going to go into next. So any questions on the actual DLP portion itself, which is the front end experience?
No, but yeah, George, be sure to tell us what the highlights were of the Alta Vista call, so the team knows what the, buzzwords and the selling points are for them.
Yeah. So Alta Vista, and
wait,
you know what?
Can you just finish the demo first before we get to sidetracked?
No. What I was going to tell Tim, Joe. I'm not getting sidetracked. This is part of when I go into the maintenance pages, I'm going to basically show you where the highlights of the demo were with Alta Vista, so we can knock out two birds with one stone.
Okay.
Yeah, just touch on what excited them as you're going through this.
Yeah. Well, I keep in mind, guys, like I did go over, and again, take the time to listen to this, because I did also, highlight those as I was going through this. But let me tell you what really resonated regarding the maintenance pages. So in the maintenance pages, just like anything else, you go into consumer settings, you go to digital lending portal. If you see I'm in home equity lender, I'm in prod. Okay, I'm in digital lending portal. Here's where I can play with stuff. Okay, I can upload a logo. I can change my button background colors. Now look, guys, all of you guys are playing with this actual instance. All right, so just be careful with what you're doing, because you could really jack things up in terms of colors. Like I can change my header background color. I can make it like a gray, and then I can click out of here and it can tell me to do it. So there's a lot of different colors that you can play with. But I wouldn't save anything. I would just kind of see what it looks like. I'd kind of keep this neutral blue that fits within our brand style. So from here, you can change the header background color, the font color. So if I want to make this font red, I can do that. If I want the icon color to change, I can do that. The footer, I can change my media icons, my font color, background color. Left menu, I can change all these items. Here's where I can upload a logo, and again, some different color schemes here. Let's keep going. Footnote domain. So here is my main footnote disclosure. You guys will see how that lines up in a second. Here's where we can add, Facebook tags, social media tags. We can add those here. And this is directly from IT. We will give you guys this domain. Matter of fact, don't touch this, okay? If you touch this, you will break your demo site. So do not touch this, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and click save. All right, decision engine. This is straight up all technical stuff. Again, don't touch this either. This will break your demo site. In your demo, I would go into FICO ranges. This is when we start allowing that.
Hey, George, I would go back to that though, because I think you want to highlight that. This is how we hook into Loans PQ. These are the credentialing, all the URLs, for your test environment, so we can test with you, and for your production environment. So it's good to highlight this, that we have all this technical capability, that we just we have the capability to plug that in here through the UI to get it hooked up. Do
you want me to show this on a demo?
That's a great point. That's a great point.
Absolutely.
you can basically say from
Guys,
this screen,
I think that because this is what we showed Alta Vista, and Joe, you've made this point multiple times now. Showing the back end is really going to be the selling point, I think, in getting like showing them this is how quickly we can get you up and running. These are all the controls that we have behind the scenes to set up your site and get you plugged in. And so I do think this shows a lot of the power of the platform by showing the back end part of this in your demo.
And then whatever their update and LoanSpeak and rates and stuff automatically will update here.
Yes.
Okay.
well, so to Corey's point, I would stop here and be like, this is how quickly we can get your test environment, your production environment up and running. We just got to get these API usernames and passwords and be like, oh, where do I get those? We can either have their
We just work with their LoanSpeak admin and we'll get it hooked up. So it's more on the technical side, and that's all they need to know at that point.
correct.
Give us a LoanSpeak admin.
Yep.
Yeah. So with the FICO ranges, we can put in their exact FICO ranges here, and we can come up with their own categories. Right now, you cannot change how this category is labeled. In a couple of weeks, you'll be able to basically call it whatever you want. So if you want okay to be fair, you can change that. Not good would be poor. However you want to do this, you'll be able to change that. But this controls that FICO range category that we saw back there. All right, program details. This is where a lot of the meat is. Max LTV. Right now, we basically have an overarching max LTV. So I've determined that 80% is my max LTV, and then I can actually put a max LTV disclosure that will map to that LTV section of the application itself. Okay, my HELOC variable rate, these are all my HELOC options. Okay, if I don't do HELOCs, I can basically disable it. It won't show up. From HELOC, I can determine an intro rate, a regular rate. I can determine how my monthly payment is calculated. So right now, the monthly payment is interest only. These two features don't really do anything. I would show them, but they're not active yet. Again, we'll be enabling those within the next couple of weeks. Okay, the draw period. I don't know if you guys remember seeing draw period disclosure, repayment period disclosure. So like you could do 10-year draw period. You can put these in here. 15-year repay. So what this does, guys, is this allows, this is where we burnt a lot of time with the signatures and the uncles, is getting all these little nuances correct. You know, oh, no, I don't have a 15-year repayment. I have a 20-year repayment. Oh, no, I don't want to advertise that. Oh, my floor rate changed. And like every single time that we missed something or we didn't get something right, we basically had to go back to our team, our coding team. Prasanna had to work with, Madhu or somebody, and we had to wait till we got that code moved out to production, and then it'd be a couple of weeks before we can get something like that changed. That is a really, really big deal. And that, Tim, to your point, that was one of the things that Alta Vista was like, wow. So like if something changes, I can basically just call you guys and you guys can do it in real time. The answer is yes. So this is where you start building, additional value. I think this is a cool part. It's cool because we can get them up and running very quickly. It's cool that we can introduce changes very quickly into their site. But remember, the main value prop is we're streamlining that front end process, that application process from the consumer standpoint. Okay.
So what if we gave them admin rights so they could make their own changes?
That was step 2, Tim. But we wouldn't want them to be able to sabotage themselves. So we have to determine what out of this we want to give them access to. So that's going to be phase 2, Tim. But
I actually talked about if you had a way for customers to go sign up online and set up their own accounts online. I mean, that would be something.
Yeah.
We've had several.
Show us the hell loans, please.
We've had several, one second, Joe. We've had several, discussions around, being able to, like, let's say, spin up a site through the website.
Yeah.
So we've had those discussions, Tim.
Okay. All right.
Hells. All right, so if you notice, I just made these changes. I'll go back to the pages real quick and show you guys. So Hells, we're making some changes here. Right now, if you notice, we have fixed Hell terms of 5, 15, 5, 10, 15, and 20, and we have ability to enter a rate. So we're also looking to do that with FICO. So as far as adding rates, and with Hells, we're looking to basically, you tell us what terms you're lending on. So right now we just have a fixed 5, 10, 15, 20. So if someone's doing 25 or 30, we can't accommodate it right now, but it is a known fix and it is a known item that we're going to change. So Hell, you have everything you do in Hell. You have the space to be able to put your rates in. You have the ability to add a rate disclosure. So like when someone clicks on the rate, how did you get there? Here's where the lender can tell them how they got there. And like this could be generic messaging like, oh, our rate is based on your FICO, LTV, other factors, yada, yada, yada. Monthly payment disclosure, again, along the same lines, however they arrive at their monthly payment. I mean, this one's principal and interest, so I can just actually say that. Principal and interest. Term. Okay, features is fixed payment. Fixed rate. And again, they can tell you these things. And what this allows them to do is allows them to do some product marketing right from the site itself, and some consumer education. So it's a benefit, no worries. Okay, product disclosure. Levels are. Once. Great. Okay. This way is. And I would show them, guys. I would make some updates and go back to the pages and show them. Okay. Save here. All right, let's say they don't do any non-owner or investment, and let's say their marital statuses are only single and married, or maybe they don't lend to military, or maybe they don't do townhomes or mobiles. Sorry, mobiles. So I can save that.
George, I have a question.
Yeah.
If that's going to be the case and there's going to be a lot of people in this, if it's easy to spin up, would it be easy for me to make my own demo entity of this?
Yeah,
No.
that's what I was just gonna
No.
bring that up. So here's the thing, like we're gonna be doing multiple demos a day and some of them are going to end at the same time. So are we not able to have each have a demo entity that we can point to?
There's
Because like, what if I'm on a demo and then Joe's in the background changing a color or something, and it's like,
Right.
yeah, no, it's a good point, Amanda. Let us think about that. I mean, we could spin up.
I think it makes sense.
I know, but the only thing, Corey, is that the only thing about this, Corey, is that in order, home equity lender is what the Loans PQ backend points to.
Yeah.
If we're going to need different front ends with different domains, then we're going to need basically to clone home equity lenders.
More.
And we can't have multiple. We can't have multiple home equity lenders point to that same instance of Loans PQ.
Yeah.
So I don't know, guys.
that, or for
know.
now, let's agree to not go in there and change stuff. Then maybe.
Or for now, or for now, don't overlap your demos if you guys want to play around with things.
Unless you want to have one that's just your sandbox to show, and then the one that feeds Loans PQ remains untouched.
Yeah, I think if we all had our own little sandbox to play around with just from the DLP perspective,
Yeah.
where we could go in and show changes made in real time, but then you can just leave the home equity lender hooked to the Loans PQ so we can show the functionality. But I do
As long
think
as
that
you
we
guys,
I kind of like Joe's approach to it. What he wants to do is, pre-demo, you're kind of prepping a whole new entity that you drop their logo in there, you put their colors in there, so you're kind of taking the first stab at it. And this is probably for the larger deals that you would do this for, and kind of show them a customized version of this during the demo and how easily it was to set all that up. And then if you want to show the Loans PQ integration, slip over to DLP, which is this instance, and show how it goes into LPQ, and you get an instant decision.
Right, and we can do that if we all have our own like sandbox. So if I know that I'm having a call,
Yeah,
with Old
right.
National, half an hour before, I can go in, drop in a logo, and make it all good to go right before, and not worry
Yeah.
about, someone else going in there and changing something before my demo.
Yep.
It just won't actually work, right? But we show the other one that works and show
Yeah.
this one as just like a front-facing skin.
It'll all work all the way up to Loans PQ or up to decisioning.
Pushing the actual the loan into Loans PQ.
Getting that instant approval. Yeah, that's.
I mean, it sounds like a lot to keep track of in a demo, guys. I mean, if you guys have a big deal coming up and you want to, let's say, get their color scheme in there, maybe get their logo in there and then kind of play off of that, that's one thing. But just keep in mind that the only system that's actually talking to Decision Loan API is Home Equity Lender, which
That's
is
fine.
out.
But I still think it's a good selling point to be able to say, hey, I spun up this quick instance for you. This is how easy it was to do it, and here's change. But for purposes of the demo, to show you how the information feeds. For Old National, I don't need to show them how the information feeds. They already know. I just need to show them DLP. So, I think it would be okay to, say, I did this for you, spun it up, and then hop out and then say, okay, I'm going to do it through this demo site and show you how it instant decisions, and then you pick it up inside of LPQ.
Yeah.
This was some really, really cool things. And I don't think you need to make this unique for someone. So this goes back to the point where it's like, if you guys are just going to show it, just leave it. The site is already pretty much set up to get some oohs and ahs. This is cool. I'm a consumer. What is a variable rate HELOC? HELOCs are great for home improvement, debt consolidation. Here are my features. Here are my benefits. And here's my 10-year draw, my 15-year repay. When people see this and they can see that you can kind of change this on the fly, that's what they're like, oh, man, that's super, super cool. Same thing with the HEL. Here's my features, fixed payment, fixed rate, no worries. HEL's great if you need all the money at once. Here's my rate disclosure. So those things, you're immediately going to be able to represent value out of those things. So if you notice, those are the changes that I went in right away.
And then also, as we're demoing over the next couple of months, and you guys are also changing this, is it going to be 100% uptime?
Yeah, we're not gonna.
Like,
we're not gonna.
Fiasna going to be in there, or?
Yeah, no, we're not. I don't know why IT shut down your old Equity IQ site. I mean, I can't answer that, but I promise you that that's not going to happen again.
Okay.
Okay. So Alta Vista, Tim, we basically took Alta Vista. We showed them how we put their logo in, how we got their colors, their color scheme. We showed them, how quickly we got their ranges and their program details. And then we basically showed them where it translated to on the site. And they were just like, wow. And then, and then we took them through kind of a full app and showed them how quickly it was to get through there. And they were just like, oh man, it was kind of just like, wow. Oh man, it was, they just weren't ready to see this level of technology. And for anyone that hasn't seen what the competition in Loans PQ is. I'll do that real quick. So just so you guys know what you're competing with from a Loans PQ standpoint. There you go, Loans PQ model. Look at this. Look at this essay. Look at this essay I have to write versus here. Okay, this is what you're competing with, guys. Apply in 3 easy steps, but meanwhile there's 100 steps on each page. I don't even know where to start here. This is intimidating to me. You know, and here's the thing. And some lenders, and let me tell you something, guys. Some lenders that you are going to show this solution to already have this. Do the background. If you know, go on their website. All right, cool. I'm selling Uncle. Let me go in there and see what they have. Go in there, take that extra step, find out what they have. If they have this, you know that you're already got a leg up on them. You know, like this. Go ahead. The bounce rate on this page alone must be ridiculous. I'd love to see how many people actually get here and click continue. I don't even know where to start. I honestly don't even know where to start. It looks like one giant form, and that's what I'm saying. It's in some of the lenders that you're going to be showing the solution to are here. Some of them are not even here. Some of them, like Flagstar. I mean, this is great.
And they're charging, LPQ's charging their users like $7,500 just to use the setup to, for the application.
That's annual. Is that annual?
That's annual. I'm not sure on a monthly fee yet. I just know that's annual.
All right, and so some of them already know that. And look, and you get to someone that's a big national lender, so some of these enterprise guys, right? Get started online. Okay, all right, let's get started online. Lucas, test case. Lucas at Gmail. Started my experience, great. Okay, 512. All right, yeah, let's go. Great, we'll contact you soon.
That was fast. Look at that.
Wow. That's a good.
Done.
That's faster than ours.
That leads into a good point, George. Is Patrick on the line? Patrick, are you there?
Yeah.
So have the AMs been notified, or are we going to, that the sales team is going to be reaching out to current clients to sell this?
Yeah, there's some of them on this call.
Okay.
Yeah, we got Mikey and Mo was on it earlier. But yeah,
still here.
Yeah, they're some of them are already onboarding people, so.
Yeah, like we already have Jovia's it's interested in. Please don't call Flagstar. Flagstar we're working separately on.
Yeah. Mikey and James are the dedicated AMs for the onboarding for this. So they're the ones who really are critically need to know this right now. But
well, I'm going to call the other ones accounts though. I'm going to be trying to sell them.
Well, they're going to be selling their accounts. They're selling our current customers. You guys are supposed to be bringing in new business with this.
So AEs are not supposed to contact current clients for this?
No, AMs are supposed to do that. That's what AM's total job is to upsell to existing customers. You guys need to focus on bringing in new clients.
Yeah, so your 15 is new clients. That doesn't mean go out and poach 10 of Mikey's clients. That was a joke.
This will be, we're going to table this discussion. Go.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll get back with you on that, Amanda.
Okay.
All right, so guys, couple highlights here. Let's go back to the original value prop. Where is it? Improve customer member experience, reduce bailout during the application process. You guys actually just saw two different versions of where ours is ours does that. Increase digital applications, and then prioritize and follow up the leads based on LTV and available equity. So again, those are going to be in Loans PQ. Everyone that bailed out, they'll already be there. They'll be able to follow up on them. But I mean, these are the features, guys. The features are I can determine my available equity in my home, so this provides a better experience. I can complete my full application in minutes, not whatever I just saw. We get an instant credit decision, payment to steps, quick setup, and fully branded and styled. So you know, do that research. Do that research. Find out what they have now before you even get on the call. Find out what they're using. Find out if they are using that existing Loans PQ solution. Find out if they don't even have a solution. And just keep in mind that these guys are being tasked by their entire board to go out and get a digital program. You got to remember the average lender out there takes about 70% of their applications through a branch. Okay, let me say that one more time. Your average lender, your average home equity lender, 70% of their applications come in through a branch. Okay, with COVID, that number's probably dropped down to 35. So they are, not only did they see that 35% hit, but they are being tasked by their board of directors to go out and get digital loans. This is how you do it. And that's not to even mention what happens on the back end. But this combined, and this is why, you know, maybe I'm going to stop the recording now, but this is why the solution is so powerful. You know, and this is why